Well, what's happening, everybody? Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I'm sure you can. Coming through, so look at that. You can't see that. All right. Wanted to give you guys a quick update on what's going on this week. And the updates from the shop last week. Oh, let me get that turned down. What's happening, everybody? Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I'm sure you can. Mute that. Let me show you where I am with the short scale base. This is going to be a quick update. I got other stuff going on. I got a project coming up tomorrow that I'm trying to get ready for tonight, but wanted to make sure you guys are still in the loop here. So this is the body. Pretty happy with it. That is flame maple, or excuse me, quilted maple top that we got out of that piece we got from our friends over at California Exotic Hardwoods. Is beautiful. And the ash, excuse me, alder back. Boy, it will be fine. Don't sweat it. It's late. I've been up since like 5 o'clock this morning, and I've got a 6 a.m. call tomorrow with the East Coast. So that should be a lot of fun. But this body's beautiful. I'm really, really happy with it. All the machine work is done now for the pickup and the neck. And I already have everything located now for the bridge. This will be a string through body. So there will be, we'll have some stuff here on the back for those. And pickup, excuse me, the control cavity is all carved out now as well. It looks great. So now, all right, so what's that block right there? We'll talk about that. Let me see if I can get you guys a little closer to it. All right, so that little block right there that you see is because this body is quite a bit smaller than a regular P-base body. And but on this short scale base, the body and the pickup location they're the same. Or excuse me, the pickup size is the same. The bridge size is the same as the standard P base. So that's what we carved in. But when we did the back here, and I did a full size cavity in case they want to upgrade later on, an additional pickup or something. They got plenty of room for options in there, and also it's for weight. You know, again, this is for an 11-year-old, so I wanted to make sure that I had. I'm taking care of how much this is going to weigh for this young lady, and being able to play it every day and be comfortable playing it every day. So I went ahead and did the full size cavity. So when I did it, of course, there was a little bit of an overlap there, right there in that pocket that punched through. So no big deal. I put a solid maple block in there and glued it in place, and it becomes seamless. And it's going to hide underneath that cover right there, but gives me a good solid surface for the receiver, because you know I use the brass receiver there for the pickup for the height adjustment. So I prefer it. I think that it looks really good. Let me take a look here really quick and see. All right, so all right, there's one person there, which I think is probably me. Who cares? What else can we see? I don't go live very often, guys, so I'm still figuring it out kind of on the fly. But again, I wanted to show you guys this because it's man, it's just coming out great, and thought I would share. Isn't that pretty? So again, it's right at about 90, 91, 92% of a full size P base, right? But you can see that pocket's pretty much right in between a standard bass neck and a standard guitar neck. So it's literally like halfway in between. So if you've played a guitar, you know what that neck feels like. If you've played a bass, you know what that neck feels like. This is just like right in between. Actually, if you've played a baritone guitar, then you know exactly what this feels like, because it's pretty much the same scale, about a 30-inch scale on a baritone guitar, and this is a 30-inch scale bass. So, boy, oh boy, look at that. The figuring in this top, that we got is just dumb, and I can't wait to show you guys when it gets some color on it, because I already know what it's going to do. I've already kind of played around with the scrap piece. I'm not showing you that yet. That's just for me for now. And I'm going to fill in those. So that's where those cracks were. Remember on the my nose itches. Remember on the piece that I showed you that we got. It had some defects, and that's crept into this routed edge here, but that's not a big deal. I'm going to just fill those, and I might fill in with something kind of fun. I haven't decided yet, but I got a couple ideas, right? Because these woods are beautiful, and they really are very similar in color. Even when they get finished, the alder gets a little bit more yellowish brown, and the maple gets kind of a golden brown, especially this soft maple. I mean, it's not very much softer than a hard maple, but this is a West Coast. This is a big leaf maple, which is this big curl kind of comes from that species as well, more often than like the flame maple, which comes from the hard maple usually. So from my experience, if you know different, say so in the comments. we can talk about it. But yeah, this curl and everything. So anyway, on this edge where it meets the alder, I didn't do a body separation line there like I've done in my other bases with like a pinstripe or something, because I have an idea here for how I think I'm going to color it. The young lady has asked for black hardware in a very, very bright, probably pink body. So kind of punk rock, right? So I mean, that's what it kind of reminds me of. So that's kind of, I think, the aesthetic I'm going to lean into. So what I might do is right where that you can kind of see it. You can see where the figuring ends from the maple and where the figuring starts. So basically where the cap really meets the body. Hopefully that's coming through. Anyway, so what I think I'm going to do there is I think I'm going to tape that off. And I'm gonna do like a little bit of just like a very, very light burst around the edge and like a smoky gray, kind of like a smoky dark gray around the edge, so that it defines uh, the top a little bit more from the body, and so it frames this really bright pink on the front, and makes the black hardware stand out even more. So it's going to be a black solid brass bridge from Mac. I've already got that. The pickups, I'm still making a decision. It's close. I've got a set of the Geezer Butler EMG pickups, which I love. I have those. That's what's in the where is that guy? Not here. I'll be darned. Oh, the reason it's not here is because they were in the pink base that I sold. So it's like, hey, where did that go? Yeah, I sold it. I actually sold the base. So how do you like that? So yeah, this cat down in San Diego bought the pink base last month or a couple months ago now, and I'm really excited about that. But that one was the original set of the Geezer Butler EMGs, which I loved. They were super quiet. When you got them right up at the very top of the volume, they broke up beautifully and gave you that nice fuzz and really sounded, gave you that kind of that early Black Sabbath sound, and which I absolutely love. But when you back it off a little bit, it was awesome. They cleaned right up and sounded like a classic P bass, which was great. So I either have that in mind, or actually I know that Nordstrand has a nice variety of P-bass pickups, and I'm thinking about talking to them about what might be a really good fit for this bass in particular, for this project in particular. Those guys are local to me. I have yet to get a chance to go up and see them. So, Sonia, it was great meeting you out at the NAMM show, and I promise you, I'm trying to find some time in my calendar. I guess I got lucky, or I got lucky. My day job got busy, and I haven't had a chance to escape for several weeks now. But I'm going to make time to get up there and see you guys. I want to talk to you guys about this bass and this project in particular. I can't wait to tell you guys who it's for. That'd be a lot of fun. I'm sure you guys will know who he is and who his family is in it. So it should be a lot of fun. But I was doing a little research on your website the other day at the Nordstrand website. Go and check those guys out if you haven't already. The pickups that I've used from them are my favorite. They truly are. They're in the ash top here, and it's literally the best sounding bass that I've got on the wall here. I mean, it's the most expensive bass here. Yeah, it is, but yeah, it's not a sales pitch. That's those pickups are absolute fucking lightning. They're amazing. I would say a close second is the Delanos here. Um, they're like a EMG 35 sized, right? So standard kind of soap bar, same size as like Fluence fish bars, fish Fluence Fishman Fluence soap bars. Holy shit balls! And I absolutely love these. I mean, it's a whole different flavor, but these the DiMarzio, the PJ pickups in the DiMarzio are wonderful. So, but man, I mean, when you get right down to it, and just overall punch and clarity, everything, yikes! I don't think I have found better pickups than than these ones here from our friends over at Nordstrand. So I really want to talk to them about this project and see what might be a great fit for this, and something that'll take this young lady from her first bass experience right up into her maybe even doing some recording. I know that this family is going to do some recording in their studio. I know that their dad here, this guy that I'm doing this for, is I know he's got a brand new studio there with a cool stage and everything, and I think that'll be a lot of fun to see her up there playing this with its bright colors and everything, and want to get that amazing sound. So I think our friends at Nordstrand are the ones that we're going to talk to about the pickups for this ultimately. So okay, not just the body. The body is coming out great. You can see here, I went for a little bit later. And yes, this is going to definitely get a comfort carve or a belly carve, whatever you want to call it. A comfort carve here on the back. I'll be working on that this weekend. And I haven't decided. I don't think this body is a little bit thinner than traditional. It's about 1 5/8 right now, a little bit thinner than that. And so I don't think I'm going to do an additional carve here around where the heel meets the body. It's pretty darn comfortable. And I know that this young lady's very petite, so I want to make sure. And my daughter is as well, and she's actually the same age. So she said, I'll be the model, Dad. Don't even worry about it. I'll make sure that this is comfortable for her. I won't let it leave the house unless it fits this girl perfectly. So she's been a huge help, and she's been a huge influence on not only the design, the color choices, and everything too. So let me show you guys a bit more about that. All right, so that's the body, beautiful alder, and this beautiful West Coast big leaf flame maple for the top, and that crazy chunk of maple that I got from our friends up at California Exotic Hardwoods. I love our friends Fies up there, and his wife too. She's a Salesforce consultant, like I am in my day job. So we got connected through him, and I'm excited to meet her in the next week or two as well, and see if maybe there's a chance for us to do some projects together. That would be a lot of fun. But yeah, California Exotic Hardwoods. If you guys don't know them, go check them out. They are up in Anaheim. If you guys are local here to SoCal, they're off like 55 and 91, where they come together, and just kind of right up there in that area as you start to get into the canyons on the 91. Anyway, they're great, and they're closed on Fridays. They're open Saturday and Sunday, which is awesome for folks like me. I wake up on a Sunday morning when nothing else seems to be open. Get a wild hair up my ass to go find some, amazing wood. I get a thought or have a dream about something. I can go explore this place and probably come home with that next project. So CaliforniaExoticHardwoods.com. Get on their email list as well. He always lets you know when he's got new stuff in stock. So again, if you're local to SoCal, even if you're not, get on his email list, start talking with this guy. When I'm there on the weekends, if he's not busy with me or somebody else, he's on his email making sure that he's getting stuff answered for folks. I've sat there and watched it. It's amazing. Why? Why do I do that? Well, I'm an IT nerd, so I'm really curious about how folks market and sell. So yeah, last time I was there, a couple weeks ago or last weekend when I picked up this top and everything, I was kind of listening to him in the background, taking care of business in his office. You can't help it. I mean, because he's got wood stacked floor to ceiling, basically from the front of the facility all the way to the back. It's everything that you dream about when you want to go to a hardwood dealer. Very, very cool. It's like Toys R Us. Are you Gen X? Do you remember Toys R Us when you were a kid? That was like Fantasyland. It was the most amazing thing ever. It's that, only hardwood, right? And so it's pretty cool. But anyway, so this cat was in the office doing his work, making phone calls and answering emails and stuff, and taking care of the odd customer that came through while I was there because I putter around for a while, kind of looking for the odd bits and pieces, which he's also really, really cool about, right? Like, so he gave me a deal on that block that split up in the dryer. He gave me a great deal on that zero coating top that had a little split in the back end, no big deal, but he made sure it was worth my while. And then there was a few other pieces laying on the ground. I was like, those are those scraps? I'm happy to buy those from you, because I could use them for headstock plates and stuff like that, right? They were nice enough for that, beautiful pieces, but had a warp or whatever. I knew I could cut off a piece and flatten it up or whatever. And he was like, yeah, go ahead, no problem. I mean, he was going to trash. He was going to probably throw it in the incinerator, but he was cool enough to go ahead and just let me take it with me as part of that order. So super easy guy to do business with. Wonderful family. The first time that I actually met his wife, the Salesforce one, we kind of were introduced through him, but I've actually met her once before, and she may not remember. Right after the NAMM show, I went up there to because he'd given me a great deal on those rosewood fingerboard blanks. So I went up there to pick them up, and he had just happened to be running back over to the NAMM show to pick up a pallet of stuff that he was showing off during the show. So so I called him up and I was like, dang, hey, are you actually gonna be here sometime today? And he immediately called his wife, and his wife called me back because I was right out in front of the store, and she said, I'm so sorry. I'll head right down. So she literally, puts down what she's doing, understands that I drove, 45 minutes or whatever to get up there, comes down, meets me, opens up the shop, lets me take a look at those blanks, and then lets me take care of that purchase. And they've got it all taken care of right there too, right? You just do it, on their phone. It's like Squarespace or something like that, right? So it's all secure and everything. It's perfect. But it was great. They really took care of me. I mean, my goodness, like they really went out of their way to take care of me, kind of thing. And when you run into to folks like that, boy, you can't wait to do business with them again, right? So awesome. Anyway, let me show you what. Yes, let me show you what that rosewood, East Indian rosewood finger blank looks like now. And you guys will see that it is definitely worth the price of admission, I would say. And look at, so like I was telling you guys before I cut this, I showed it to you after I had the other piece, smaller piece right there at the knot that kind of kinked on me. Totally fine, no big deal. This one has a lot more of the pink and red and kind of purple streaks in it. So, man, I mean, when we get this all brightened up, I just think this board, this beautiful natural wood, is just gonna glow with the colors that are already on the body. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm still thinking what I want to do for the inlays for this. Knowing it's for a young lady, I think I might want to do something kind of fun. I haven't decided yet. If if I'm brave enough and can take an extra week or so, I'm considering maybe doing a like a cherry blossom inlay in gold mother of pearl. I have these really pretty pieces, large pieces of gold mother of pearl, and I've always wanted to do those carvings. I've drawn a couple out. I don't, I'm not sure. I've looked at a few different styles of drawings as well to kind of see what I like with those. For the style of cherry blossom, and is it the right thing to put on here? Does it fit? That kind of thing, or is it maybe not quite the right fit for this and we go for something a bit simpler? I'm not sure. So, knowing it's going to be black hardware, knowing it's going to be really, really bright pink, I just haven't quite figured out exactly what I'm going to do for that inlay. I've also tried, I've reached back out to our friend to see if she goes by a nickname or something I can do to personalize this for her, either here on the fretboard or up on the headstock. And haven't heard back from him yet, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do something along those lines. But it's so far the blank has come out really, really well. You guys can see I am planning on a stinger. I really like doing that. I like the way it comes to when it comes to a point and gives you that kind of overhang there behind the nut. I just kind of like the way your hand kind of rides up against it. I don't know. And you can see there, I also did the um, truss rod adjuster there at the headstock on this one rather than the spoke wheel. And some of that was based on what's available out there in different truss rod lengths. And for the 30-inch, it's kind of funny. It seems like they go straight from 18-inch truss rods all the way up to 24. I have both. And so I was like, all right, there's no such thing. Well, nothing that I could find that I could get here in a reasonable amount of time that was like a 20-inch truss rod. But when I did my measurements and laid everything out, this 18-inch is going to work perfectly. It comes right up here to the nut and then comes all the way up and literally terminates just after where the neck is going to meet the body. So there's going to be 4 beefy machine screws that are going to be holding this thing to the body. That should really stiffen up this area below where the truss rod terminates. And also, the carbon fiber rods, I went ahead and got 24-inch carbon fiber rods and ran those all the way down the full length. And I do have a couple of photos. I'll share them here. Maybe I'll pop them in here at some point when I edit this for future broadcasts or cut down some clips or something for you. I'll show some of that, or keep an eye on the Instagram. I am still doing stuff over there. I haven't had a lot of chances to post that much stuff over there lately, but I'll do better. I'll keep working on it. But yeah, isn't that nice? So that's going to look beautiful. So I'll be working on getting this carved this weekend as well. And you can see I've already marked it up. So you can see how that's going to be. And you can't quite see the pencil line there on the side of the fretboard, but I'm going to be taking that fretboard down by about 1/4 or so. Yeah, about 1/4 of the height of that fretboard is going to disappear before I put the radius on it, which I'm still going back and forth on the radius as well. I know 16-inch. I don't want to do a dual compound radius. It just doesn't make a lot of sense here. But I'm thinking I'm probably going to do a 12-inch radius on this. It's a great compromise between, really easy playing up here at the top end and being able to move your hand around easily here at the top end. So I think I love a 12-inch. I think it feels really good. I don't have particularly large hands. So I have big palms and shorter fingers. So, and I find that a 12-inch radius is really comfortable to get around. So I think that's what I'm going to aim for. And I've got everything measured out for the fret slots. You can see that I've got those marked, and also I have just a cut that I did with my marking knife on the top. Got a few scores pulled across there, so it should keep the fret saw in alignment. I don't have a template for this scale length. So, for the 34s, I have this metal plate that has notches in it. And I would normally just use double-sided tape and put that down on that template, move it through, and that indexes against this pin in a jig that I have. It gets those fret slots exactly the same every single time. So I don't have that for a 30-inch scale. got it for, guitars, 25, 24 and 3/4, 25 and a half. Fender and Gibson, standard scales. And then I have for bass 34 and 35, which are the standard long scales for bass. But easy enough. Again, our friends over at StewMac make the process pretty simple. They have a fret calculator on their website, which is what I use to get all the distances here. And then from here, it's just as simple as sitting on the bench and marking it out with, for me, I use a set of calipers to mark it out, starting at and I mark a line straight across for where the nut's going to be. That's your 0 line, and then you start marking everything from there. And then when I get to a certain point where I've got a precision instrument that goes up to about 6 inches. So I do that 6 inches and then plus the next, and my calipers are 6 inches as well. So I can do a pretty good distance before I have to move, and honestly, I'm within a few thousands. You're just not gonna hear the difference if I miss this by a couple thousandths one way or another. And so good enough for government work, as they say, but it's even better than that. So got us cut down to thickness here and got the taper put on. Nice clean hole there for that truss rod adjuster. And again, we'll get this cleaned up and carved on Saturday. Is when I have planned to carve this neck. And like I said, we'll cut this down a little bit before we radius it, and then I'll cut this taper. I'm going to do a fairly modern C shape on this, and the reason for that again is because we have a young player, smaller hands, and I want something that's going to be easier for her to maneuver. So up here by the first fret, I'm going to get as slim as just under 0.8 of an inch, so about 780 or more, a little bit between 780 and 800, and that should give us a good round feeling while still feeling fairly thin in her hand, so it won't feel chunky in her hand. I'm also going to profile a little bit softer on the shoulder, so it's easier for her to reach no matter where she is. But a good solid flat surface for her on the back to really get that thumb anchored for how she's going to set up her hand across the length of the fretboard. So that'll stay consistent down the length of the board, but I'm definitely going to be taking a bit more of an aggressive initial cut to get that shoulder pushed way up. So it's out of the way. So typically what you would do on here is, of course, after I take this, down to thickness, then how I would mark that up would be about 50%, right? So about halfway between top of the fretboard and the bottom of the neck, and the edge of the fretboard width and the center line. So that 50%, that's your first angle that you would take off if you're using that method where you're doing where you're taking the facets off of the length. Some of the guys do it differently. They might use a spoke shave and just carve it, carve top and bottom here, and then pull that spoke shave all the way through and sand it down. A lot of guys have their different methods. I prefer the facet method. For me, I just like the way it works for me. I see it well, and I'm able to do my final shaping from those facets. Again, it's just the way you see it. Different people see the material different ways, and I'm not going to tell somebody that no, you have to do it this way. God forbid, that would be dumb. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to push this a little bit closer to the fretboard. So on that initial cut, I'm going to probably go 50-50 here, but I'm going to take this up maybe 65% closer to the fretboard. And what that's going to do is going to take off a larger initial chunk and give it more of a, instead of kind of, angled like that, more angled like this. And then when I take my next cuts, it'll be a little less aggressive here at the top, but I'll have those shoulders already kind of pushed out of the way. So every cut from there really does kind of just take that off a little bit more and just gets it out of the way. So that's the idea. So I'll let you know how it goes. And of course I'll video when I'm actually carving the neck. It's a lot of fun to do that. If you take a look at some of the other live streams that I've done, you'll see that there's one in there that's it's ridiculous. It's an hour long. I'm wearing a mask, can't hear shit, and I'm wearing I'm still wearing a 260-pound guy shirt when I'm only weighing 180 pounds anymore. So it does look like I'm wearing a clown suit while I'm doing it. But hey, go check it out. It's pretty fun. Anyway, so I'll post that up while I'm getting this thing carved so you guys can see what the process is for going and getting that done. But so far, I'm really happy. I did settle on the 2+2 on this. I laid it out with the 4 inline, and for a neck this short, it just didn't look right. So it kind of looked out of balance, you know. I mean, it looked like there was just too much coming out here. So I was like, all right, well, you know, I still think this is a good, it's good sized headstock. Definitely without being ridiculous though on an overall neck that's not so big. So there you go. Really excited about the way this is happening. There go. That's that exciting word again. But I'm really happy with how this thing is turning out so far, and I can't wait to show you guys the progress this coming weekend. I've got another busy weekend planned out in the shop, getting this all carved up. I'll get this neck fit to the body this weekend, and I'll get it all drilled out as well so that I can get the inserts popped in for the neck bolts, and I'll get the inserts cut out in the back here as well, and I'll also get the ferrules installed in the back of the body, or I'll get those get the holes cut anyway, and ready for those ferrules for the back of the body for the string through. So, and yeah, I'll position the controls in this as well. And you know, their leaning was more towards that kind of second generation P base. So I'm gonna do those on the body here and kind of that more. Let's move some stuff out of the way so we're not breaking stuff. Cheers. Sorry. You know, when we get that fit, get everything set, get the bolts in and everything, and that'll look good. And but yeah, like I was saying, they're kind of more geared towards this gen of P base, which doesn't have the two, you know, like the Telecaster plate, like on the 51, 52. So we're gonna do a there won't be a scratch plate, but we're gonna do the volume and tone and the output on the front in the same configuration as you would see if there was a scratch guard on this. So, and I've got that, like I say, that beautiful black StewMac solid brass bridge, which is going to just look so awesome. And yeah, I'm going back and forth between the Hipshot, Clover tuners. Again, I don't know if because I went with this standard size headstock, you know, either one of the tuners, either the Goto, the modern Y key tuner, or the Cloverleaf tuner, either one's going to look great. So it's just a matter of kind of taking a look. When I get the color on it and I kind of see what the vibe is, just kind of in general, if it gives me more of a classic vibe, then I'll probably lean towards the Cloverleaf tuning keys. But honestly, I think when I get the color on this thing and get the that bridge and those pickups on here, regardless of what they are, I don't know. I just something tells me that with everything with this is maybe just going to maybe lean more towards those modern Y key tuners. I don't know. I'm going to take a look at both. I got a set of both in black right now on the shelf. So I'll take a look and see which ones look the best, and we'll go from there. They both take, luckily, either one of them is going to use the same size mounting hole here, so it doesn't matter which one I choose. I don't have to do any modifications to the headstock, so I can go ahead and drill a hole, try them both out, see how they vibe, and then go from there. But I don't know, should look pretty good. Should look pretty good. Either way. I mean, like I've got instances here so you can see, right? So here's the Y key, you know, so that's the size of the Y key. And again, that's the same headstock, and maybe you guys can see it better here on this camera. That's the so that's the Y key on this headstock, right? Totally fits. And I get that's gold, but you get the idea. Well, actually, I've got one in black too. Let's see. The ash top. Now the ash top's chrome. Ash top's chrome, but here you go. There they are in chrome. So I really like that size. I don't have a set of the clover leaves right now on my new headstock. I got this for my wife for her birthday last year. I finally got the turntable connected. Anyway, so I've been checking it out because I've never heard the soundtrack. On this one, you can see here that this one has this one. I've said it before. This one looks like totally looks like wet dog ears, right? Big floppy ears on a wet dog, all flopping down. I think that these keys are too big for this, so I definitely know I'm going to be swapping these out. That's tough to see from there. Switch this back. There you go. But boy, that's not awesome either. Here we go. Maybe we get that. Maybe. All right. So that's the clover keys, right? So either way, they look good. They're too big for this headstock. The Y keys will look great on this base, and I think I'm going to swap it out, redo the listing, and reshoot this. I just got done with the video, this like a sound demo for this bass as well. So I'm going to post that up on Reverb, probably, and I'll post it here on YouTube as well. Why not? I'm afraid that you guys are going to see my playing and criticize me, but hey, you guys are sitting there criticizing me while I'm just sitting here talking, so might as well be about my shitty playing instead of just my shitty talking. So I'll get those posted up here probably as well, but I need to post these on the listing as well. I actually had some cat reach out and like a week and a half ago saying, hey, the bass looks great, would love to hear it. I'm sure it sounds great, just would love a sample. And I replied like, hey, yeah, I'm actually in the process of setting that up right now and trying to do that. And for the last 2 weeks, I've been recording stuff and deleting it because I hate the way I sound, not the way the bass sounds. So that's just the nature of me, I guess. So anyway, dude who reached out to me on Reverb, I'm working on it. And I got something today that I'm pretty happy with. I sat down and played a Gary Moore tune like fucking 10 times before I finally got something that only had 5 or 6 mistakes in it. So that's what I'll go ahead and probably chop up to make me sound a lot better. And then I'll post it up on Reverb so you can hear what it sounds like. And I'll totally edit it here so I sound completely awesome. But again, it's not the bass. The bass sounds amazing. It's me that sounds like shit. So, but I'm working on it. I still play every day. I've been playing every day for like 3 years, but I still suck. I still suck. You know, I get older and deafer, and it just not that that's an excuse. I got started too late. I should have kept going with it when I was 14. This so this one's a lot of fun. So the ash top here is a lot of fun. This is the Nordstrands I was telling you guys about earlier. I also got a sound sample of this one with a couple of different tunes from earlier tonight as well, and I really like this one. If you like a slightly thicker neck, that one has a really traditional P-bass neck, right about 8/10 out to about 9/20, you know, so traditional PJ area. This one stays pretty darn flat right at around a little over 800, so or 8/10 of an inch. So it feels nice and round at the top and then kind of just flattens out and gets wide at the bottom. So um, I really like the way this one feels. And it's rock solid with this, you know, it's a 3-piece hard maple neck and 2 carbon fiber rods. Of course, that's what I do, and the StewMac double adjustable truss rod that I fitted with the spoke wheel here. And I did this is a Wenge fingerboard. I love the way that this thing came out, though, but this neck is like stupid stiff. And I've got it set pretty nearly flat. I was working on it a bit today and just said, you know, how crazy can I go with the setup? And I'm currently at about 3.5 64ths on the E, and I get down to a little over 2.5 64ths on the G, and it's pretty quiet. I was really surprised that I was able to get it down this low and get it to and to sound um, this quiet. I was really surprised. You can let me see if you guys can hear this. You guys should be able to hear that. Oh, wait, I muted it. Nope, sure didn't. Let me see. No, you guys can't hear that. Oh, I know why. Actually, I don't. Oh, there it is. See? Okay. What now? Yep, there we go. It's fun. Anyway, hopefully you're able to hear a little bit of that. I haven't tested it here for a second, so I couldn't quite tell if I had that going in or not. I know you can hear it through the lark because I have it. I'm goofing around. I'll quit. So yeah, so I'm really happy with this. So this is the Ash Top, and again, like I say, I got a good sound sample of this one earlier today, so I'm going to be posting that up on Reverb as well. So this is Ash on the top here. We got a layer in between it and the cherry. That's American cherry on the back. And the nice figured ash piece there for the electronics cover. I used small M3 machine screws for the cover, M5 screws for the neck connection to the body. And those are, in this one, it's pink. Why? Why pink for the ferrules? Because I actually did that at the suggestion of my daughters. They said, yeah. It's actually because if you take a look really closely at the figuring on the ash, the grain fill that I did there is a bit of pink. It's like a pink pearl in that I mixed in with the grain fill, and to give that ash just a little bit of color. And it's sanded back perfectly. So like just when you hit it with the at the right angle, you know, when you view it, you can see, oh yeah, it's not overwhelming, right? It still just looks like beautiful piece of figured ash, but you know, when you get right up close, you can see that little bit of pink in there. So great suggestion by my little girls. Why not my little girls? My I don't even know what to say anymore. Golly, 17 and 12. I'm dying here. I'm not ready for them to be grown-ups. So forgive me. Anyway, so yeah, my 17-year-old is the one who suggested that I do the grain fill with the pink. She thought it would look really cool, especially in this really, really pretty ash body. So, and I agree. So I did the fretboard markers are actually pink mother of pearl. So they complement it really well. And the side dot markers though are actually black mother of pearl. It's a little tougher to see those ones here because they are only about 3 millimeters, 2.5 millimeters. But they look great. And I did that nice black line just below the binding on the lower edge of the neck binding here. So yeah, just a great separation there between the neck and the fretboard, and I did basically the same thing. So you can see there too, I have that really thin, pretty pinstripe in between the cherry and the ash. So the knobs, you know, I ended up going with like a rosewood knob for the onboard preamp, and then the two black standard like P-bass style knobs, the dome knobs for the what is the master volume, and then the blend knob. Um, Knobs are super easy to change out, so I may change those and unapologetically to something else. You know, if the mood suits me, I already know. Like here on the Wenge topped one, right? Like I know the gold volume knob there, that was for fun. I've got a black one that I'm going to replace that with. You know, I mean, I wonder too, because I listed it with that gold knob. If people look at that and go, "Oh, I don't know about that, bro." So I wonder, but you know, it's cool. Not again, knobs are easy. You know, I mean, if you take a look at one of my basses, and knobs are the things that makes you want to go and reject it. Jesus, give me a shout, would ya? And let me know what you'd rather see on. You know, that bass is perfect, or that guitar is perfect. I just wish that the knobs were bleh. Call me. Jeez. Let's talk about knobs. Not a big deal. So anyway, this is the ash top. Really love this. This is the one that's got the cord on it because it's the one I was playing earlier before you guys got here. I was having a lot of fun. Also, I did a lesson today on SBL this morning. So it was a one of their instructors based in the UK, and it was fun to go on there and see a bunch of other people live, like all over the world and stuff. There was folks checking in from like from Turkey and Brazil and South America, you know, other places in South America and Far East. It was pretty. And then me and my dumbass here in SoCal. A couple of the Californians that I saw on there as well, but yeah, so those are fun to check in with, and it's pretty cool that they made the live lesson stuff part of the main subscription. When they first launched it, it was like an add-on, and which I thought was cool, you know, but I was like, dang, you know, I don't have the money for that. So when they made it when they made it part of the regular subscription, I was pretty stoked. So, and I try and check it out whenever I can. They got, you know, they mix it up. So they've got their guys over in the UK, which puts the lessons earlier in my day, and they've got a few guys that are based here in the US. So it puts it a little closer to my time zone for some of those. But even that, it's not so bad. I think the earliest one with them in the UK and me here on the West Coast is like 7 a.m. my time. And let me tell you, I'll totally wake up first thing in the morning and play bass. There's way worse ways to start your day, right? So, uh, you know, could be terrible, but it's not. All right, how long we been doing this silliness now? I don't even know. I don't even know where to look to find that out. Let's see, some place where I can see more stats. Need that. Let me see. People screaming outside. Crazy. I don't know. I have no idea how to figure out how to even do that. How do you look at your stats and shit on this thing? I don't even know how long I started. It's fine. Okay. But yeah. In a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up here. Thanks for checking in with me and taking a look and seeing what we got going on this week, and seeing the progress on the short scale. Man, it's coming along great. Can't wait to show you guys the color we've got picked out for this. It's gonna look so much fun. So much fun. Can't get over it. Anyway, that's coming up soon. More progress on the neck this coming weekend, so excited to share that. I'll probably pop in here before the end of the week and talk just a little bit more about one of the other bases here. Again, go over to the Reverb channel to take a look at the listings for these. I'll update those with the sound samples here in the next day or two. Probably post 1 or 2 of those here. Photos are always on Instagram as well, so make sure you're checking us out there. And you can always reach out to me on my email as well. It's KENNO470 at Gmail. don't hesitate. Reach out if you got some questions about anything about these bases, or maybe getting one made for yourself or someone that you love. Reach out. I'd love to talk to you about building a custom bass or guitar for you. So again, great to see you guys all again this week, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys again soon. And have a great night.